From the rooftops of London, we now move to the unknown dangers that lurk in the shadows of the big city. This is the underworld, seen in such classic gangster films as The Public Enemy, starring the great James Cagney.
But you better let alone for a while. The heat's on.
Like a dirty, no good yellow belly stool. I'm gonna get somebody knows right in the head the first time I see him.
You and who else?
You dirty trouble boy.
And it was on stream just like this. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, bud. Why don't you just honk the horn so everybody knows we're here?
You did.
Set up a flare or something. Ah, jeez. Them cigars of yours smells like burning garbage. Just back the car up and get us on a sight.
Sure thing.
Thanks.
The good guys of the Old West. Here are two of Hollywood's legendary stars, Clint Eastwood and John Wayne. Tales of the Old West have always been an inspiration for countless films around the world. Somebody's robbing the bank. I better go see what's going on here. Sit tight, folks. I'll be right back.
Entering is extremely dangerous. Proceed with caution.
Don't look no better to me.
Here in Raiders of the Lost Ark, amid 1,000 deadly snakes, Indiana Jones unearths a great treasure. Will Harrison Ford escape with his discovery? And what will be your fate? Beware.
Snakes. Why it has to be snakes?
The dust of 3,000 years lies undisturbed in this ancient burial chamber. And on the chest of the great stone god, a priceless jewel.
Wait, look at there, that jewel. I reckon it's time to stake my claim. While I'm up there fetching my treasure, don't none of you hombres move.
This is the Jungle Home of Tarzan, portrayed here by Johnny Weissmuller. Over here, Marina Stallman as Jane, and of course, the one and only Cheetah as herself. You know, although Johnny Weissmuller is probably the best-known Tarzan, he had some tough competition for the title role in his first film. And he said, well, I'm casting for the 1932 version of Tarzan the Ape Man. The producer seriously considered an actor by the name of Clark Gable. Classic romance, Casablanca.
I've got a job to do too. Where I'm going, you can't follow. I've got to do. You can't pick any part. Hilda, I'm not good at being noble. It doesn't take much to see that hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday you'll understand that. He's looking at you, kid. Inside of us, we both know you belong with Victor. Part of his work, the thing that keeps him going.
Wizard of Oz. Which way do we go?
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road. No, why didn't I think of that?
Look, Emerald
little fish. The solution to your problem is quite simple. The only way to get what you want is to become human yourself.
Can you do that?
Oh, my dear sweet child, that's what I do. It's what I live for. To help unfortunate merfolk like yourself, whose souls with no one else to turn to. I'll make a potion that will turn you into a human for 3 days. If he kisses you before sunset on the 3rd day, you'll remain human permanently. But if he doesn't, you turn back into a mermaid and you belong to me. Have we got a deal?
If I become human, I'll never be with my father or sisters again.
That's right. But you'll have your man. Life's full of tough choices, isn't it? Oh, and there is one more thing, sweet kids. No more talking, singing, zip.
But without my voice?
You'll have your voice. Your pretty voice. And don't underestimate the importance of money. You've got to pay the toll. Take a dump and take a breath and go ahead and find the toll. Get them now, I got the boys. The boss is on the road. This poor
She really does love you, doesn't she, Sebastian?
It's like I always say, Your Majesty. Children got to be free to lead their own lives.
Then I guess there's just one problem left.
And what's that, Your Majesty?
How much I'm going to miss her.
Studio tour. This is your shuttle right here. Before you climb on, though, make sure you all are standing behind the yellow safe line on the ground. The shuttle doors open out and towards you.
So just make sure you stay right behind the yellow safe line. It's about 13 stories tall, and it's capped off by a set of Mickey Mouse ears that weighs 16 tons. Gives us a hat size, believe it or not, of 342 3/8. We know that because we put a Santa stocking up there during our holidays. Closer to the ground to your right side is our motor pool, where we have these famous vehicles lined up in a row from the blockbuster hit Dick Tracy, starring Warren Beatty and Madonna. The airplane was originally bought by Walt Disney in 1964 to transport him and his Imagineers back and forth from California to New York during the World's Fair. He also used that airplane during his secret scouting missions over in Central Florida to find a place for Walt Disney World. It's known to airports as 234 Mickey Mouse, but we just shorten it down to the Mouse. Off to your left-hand side are some buildings called bungalows, where we house our production teams currently filming in our studios. Right now in bungalow number 1 is Blue Wave Productions. You might know it better as the Mickey Mouse Club. Bungalow number 2 is Ed McMahon, Star Search 93. They're coming back in June for more tapings here. But off to your right-hand side, we've just entered a branch of our greens department where we store plants, trees, and shrubs until they're needed on our sets. Greenery is often used here at the studios to hide things the camera's not supposed to see in a production. Things like partially built sets, microphones and cables, and lighting equipment. And they're all grown in portable wooden boxes, which makes them very easy to transport to and from the sets when they are needed. If a director needs a 30-foot flower stem, we have one lying on its side right up here for them. That's a very unique prop that was left over from our movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And the shaped shrubs are called topiaries. Some of the larger ones, like the elephants, can take us about 10 years to fully develop. They're almost complete, and when they are, they'll be joining more than 160 already scattered throughout the Walt Disney World properties. You guys have already probably seen them all around property. Right now, though, we're leaving our greens department and entering one of the more glamorous departments here at the studios called Creative Costuming. We have slowed down here, so you folks in the back, don't worry. You'll also get a great view once you enter the tunnel. Now, in costuming, it all begins with those designer sketches, some of those you can see along the far back wall. Then we hand those down to our talented seamstresses and tailors who work inside here, who have been known to use over 175,000 yards of fabric every year. In those display cases to your left are famous costumes worn by Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, Warren Beatty and Madonna from Dick Tracy, Whoopi Goldberg from Sister Act, Bill Campbell and Jennifer Connelly from The Rocketeer, as well as some of the garments worn by the Golden Girls in that Emmy Award-winning television series. Here in Florida, we have the world's largest working wardrobe, right now consisting of more than 2.5 million garments. The number keeps growing every day. It takes more than costumes, though, to make our motion pictures, so just beyond costuming, more technical sides. First off, our lighting department. Inside here, we can supply enough power to light up the entire city of Orlando all at once. Past that, our sound department is where we can provide sophisticated sound equipment for our productions here. After that, our camera department is where we store and maintain the film and video equipment used in the studio. But off to your right-hand side is a very unique set. That's an actual Delta L-1011 airplane. It used to fly for Delta Airlines for about 11 years before we cut it up and modified it for film and tape productions. It was used in the feature film Quick Change, starring Bill Murray and Gina Davis, but most recently the movie Passenger 57, starring Wesley Snipes. Back to your left-hand side, the last department's our largest one inside our tunnel. It's our scenic shop where our carpenters build and construct all of our sets we use on location here at the studios. Very talented carpenters. They built everything from a 40-foot wooden submarine used in a rock video to the insides of the United States Supreme Court set. But you'll see an example of a set they just recently built for a feature film off to your left side as we exit our tunnel. Off to your left is Sterling Laboratories Research Division, which appears in our sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, called Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. And that just got released to video, so you can always rent it if you didn't see it in the theaters to see that 100-foot toddler terrorizing Las Vegas. Now, when our production teams travel to cities and towns to film on location throughout the United States, they run into problems they have little to no control over. Things like traffic, crowds, and noise. So to get around these problems, they like to shoot here in our studio backlot. This part of our backlot we're entering is called Residential Street, but before you guys get those bright ideas about packing, it's Christmas, starring Jim Varney. Know what I mean? Yep. Off to your left-hand side, we have two Cadillacs inside the carport. The red one that was used in the Gun and Betty Lou's handbag, and the teal blue color one was used in Tin Men, starring Richard Dreyfuss and Danny DeVito. Now, the one house you might recognize out of all of them on this street is coming up to your left right now, past our ferns out front. Anybody recognize this beige Hawaiian-style home we have right here right off the bat? Take a look at the mailbox, folks. That'll give you a clue. It's home to the Emmy Award-winning Golden Girls, starring B. Arthur, Betty White, Rue McClanahan, and Estelle Getty. They just ended that 7-year run on NBC last season, so watch their new show called Golden Palace, which comes on CBS. When a house is selected on this street for a shoot, it's our set designer's job to come out and make the house look lived in. That's what they've done to the last house to your left. They come out here and add the toys, the flag, the basketball goal, even down to the scuff marks on the garage door to make the house look lived in. Last house on your right, supposedly neighbors to the Golden Girls in TV land, but we have them across the street here on our back line. That is the home of Empty Nest. And our Guardian Bulldog is here at the end of Residential Street off to your right. He's our Bulldog Cafe that was featured in the movie The Rocketeer. That's where the flyers in that movie met to eat cheaply. As we round our corner up ahead, folks, take a look off to your left and get a glimpse of our urban counterpart to Residential Street, our New York Street. We're passing by at this point in the tour. We are going to be right back to New York Street in a couple of minutes to get a much better view next time around. Right now we just have a little bit of a detour in mind for you guys. I'm sure you won't mind because you have no choice. How are you guys doing in the back of the shuttle? You guys doing all right back there? I'd like to check up with you, let you know I'm still thinking about you. Doing an excellent job, by the way, in the very back of keeping up with me. Coming up off to your right is one of our boneyards where we store larger props we've used in past. They look like a fake boat to you guys, but it's real. It's been clocked to doing about 70 miles per hour on the water. It looks like an airplane because it was modeled after the SR-71 Blackbird spy plane. The blue cockpit section of our helicopter was flown by Roy Scheider in the movie Blue Thunder. Red Coyote cars from the TV series Hardcastle and McCormick. Silver tail section of the airplane laying on the ground is half the airplane from the 1942 classic goodbye scene in the movie Casablanca. And you folks can see the front half of that silver airplane sometime today if you visit the Great Movie Ride. That's here in the Chinese Theater. Now, 3 blue cars were all driven by Bob Hoskins as Detective Eddie Valiant through Toontown and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. One of them Roger got his hands on. You guys can guess which one he drove, though. It's not too hard. It's the hardtop convertible on the end, folks. The red door specific electric trolley cars are our largest prop. Take a close look at its steel wheels when you pass by, and you'll notice they're actually fiberglass moldings, cleverly hiding the bus's radial tires. It's actually a modified street bus. Take a look out to your left. Wheel wheels really friendly this afternoon, aren't they? A little too friendly, I think. 2 silver space pods are from the 1986 Disney film Flight of Rhyme. Right now, though, take a look off to your right, past this canal. You'll get a real behind-the-scenes look at some of the houses we just saw down Residential Street. There is not a lot of privacy out in that community, folks, because they only build what the camera has to see. Saves a lot of time and money that way. Coming up is a rather large setting set called Catastrophe Canyon. It's off limits to the tour, though, because there is a production team inside here filming for an upcoming disaster film. Some of the special effects are a little dangerous for you guys.
Hey, Jeremiah?
Yeah, Mike.
Listen, I'm sorry to interrupt your tour. Listen, I was eavesdropping on the production radio, and the director just called for another break. So I'm going to take us right on inside in between breaks so we can get a couple pictures, and then we'll get out before they know we were here.
All right, folks. Looks like that my driver has been eavesdropping on their radios, and they said there is a production break right now, so they are on a break from this production. We're going to go inside the canyon for you guys to get a photo opportunity inside here. This is great, folks. I was out here the other day watching some of the filming, and some of the special effects are very spectacular inside here, and very dangerous inside this film. So you guys will get a first-hand look at the set before it comes out on film. That's great. Well, we are bumping around quite a bit, so if you want to save your film for a second, let me check with Michael. Can we stop in here side here and give these guys a real behind-the-scenes look? Okay, folks, looks like we're going to stop, so go ahead and save your film while we're bumping around quite a bit. We're going to stop here and give you guys a still photo opportunity, so go ahead and take all your pictures you want right now. And I'll talk about something to fill the time here. I'll just talk about the tanker truck. Now, the tanker truck is a great example of a large-scale prop, just like the ones you got through seeing in our boneyard. It might end up there one day. But unlike the trolley car in the boneyard, which was a fake prop, that's a real truck. We had to hoist it right up and over our canyon walls, lower it down into place with a very large crane. Now, here in the backlot, we can control the weather. This scene calls for a real downpour. Since time is money, you can't always sit around and wait for Mother Nature. Wait a second, folks. Did I say the wrong word? They're giving us the rain effect. This is the rain effect done by Waterspouts. We have a production break there filming. This is the earthquake scene. We can't do it with the earthquake going on. So you guys should sit back and hang tight. We'll get you out of here as soon as we can, folks. Don't panic. Let me do that. Just hang on. Another one? I don't think so. I think the last thing was just fine. What did you guys think about Catastrophe Canyon? You like it? Alright, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think that one thing was enough for you guys. We're not going to stick around for another one. We're not going to press our buttons on here. That was a great show. I'm glad you guys enjoyed watching it, because I really enjoyed watching you guys. You guys did a terrific job of looking really terrifying. Some of the screams of terror I heard, especially from this young girl in the front row. Wow. She let go of a scream inside there that was so horrifying. Made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Well, you probably figured out from my bad acting there wasn't a production team inside there at all, folks. Don't believe it. I know, it was all set up for you guys to see those special effects. So right now we're going to see how they were all created for you. First thing you'll notice is that it's actually a steel structure that's covered with wire mesh, and then we covered it with a thin layer of cement. An artist hand carved the cement to look like real rock formations from the inside. Little yellow pipes carry all the gas for the fire and explosions you saw and felt. You had a reason to film. The core temperature on the last one reached about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Larger white pipes carry all the water for the flash flood. The flash flood was started when we opened the gates to 3 large dump tanks at the top of the canyon. They dumped about 70,000 gallons of water thundering towards our shuttle. And to give the scene a little more action, some of the water was blown down at you through air cannons, which are so powerful. If we stuck a basketball down in it and took it to New York City, we could shoot the basketball straight up and over the Empire State Building, with a few stories to spare. The earthquake was done by large hydraulic shaker tables underneath each shuttle car. Now, Catastrophe Canyon was created with the help of a special effects team, and what seemed like an out-of-control disaster was nothing more than a safe, computerized sequence of events. The best thing about the show is that it can reset itself in only 3.5 minutes. On a busy day, that's just enough time for the next shuttle load of visitors to go in. See the exact same shake and bake. Now, on a busy day, folks, we do run 100 to 150 of those shows, but I want to let you guys know that we do recycle all that water for each one of our shuttles, because we're very recycle conscious here at Walt Disney World. That is a good thing. Okay, in a matter of seconds, folks, we're going to be back downtown again. We're heading towards New York Street. We saw a glimpse of it earlier, so we'll get a much better view this time around. I would like to check up with you folks in the back. Make sure you guys survived Catastrophe Canyon in the back. You guys do all right? Did you like the show back there? All right, nice to see you guys enjoyed it. You guys get very wet back there? I saw some water in that second to last car just shoot right through the car. That was great. You guys look a little hot today, so we cooled you down. Out to your right-hand side of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so you can always go out there and see those turtles if you'd like to, get an autograph and a picture of your favorite hero on the house show. That does conclude our tour. We're approaching...
a lollipop. dream can be a dream come true with just that spark in me and you. Delightful melodies those will make. I love these nights of fancy, searching the universe for sounds, colors, ideas, anything that sparks the imagination. A sunbeam, that's a good one. Oh, everything I collect can inspire amazing and marvelous new ideas, and you'll never know what kind of figment you may come up with. Oh, here's my favorite. Two tiny wings, eyes big and yellow, horns of a steer, but a lovable fellow. From head to tail, he's royal purple pigment, and there, voila! You've got a figment of imagination.
Dream fighter, I'm just ready.
Not quite. Huh? I'll throw in a dash of childish delight. Look, Figment, some new friends have joined us.
Can they imagine too?
Of course. Imagination is something that belongs to all of us.
You mean everyone can think up new things?
That's right, Figment. And every sparkling idea can lead to even more. So many times we're stumbling in the dark, and then eureka! What a spark!
How are we going to use like me?
We can combine it with ghostly shivers on a stormy night and turn them into a tale of fright.
Oh, look, a rainbow. I'll use that to paint with.
Now you've got it.
Wow. Numbers, letters, papers for writing, costumes, makeup, stages for lighting, chairs of laughter.
What about science?
Science? We'll need electron beams and crystal prisms, gyroscopes and magnetism, holy grail and why?
The idea bag is full.
It is? Let's start making new things.
No, wait. First, we must store these ideas with the others in the dream port.
Are we almost there?
Oh, the dream port is never far away when you use your imagination.
Come on, everybody. Let's
We
go.
all have sparks. Imagination.
Yeah.
That's how our minds create. Right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark lights up for you.
Oh, boy.
Imagination, a dream can be a dream come true. With just that spark in the end. speed. Termination, then back to sea. It's your key to unlock the hidden wonders of our world. And this is world thing.
Hey, Dad. What? What did you do to me?
We all have sparks, imagination. That's how our minds create. All they can make our wildest dreams come true. Those little sparks in me and you.
We already went there.
This isn't exactly the first time anyone's tried to make this trip. People have been dreaming about the future for centuries. Well, here's the stuff dreams were made of. Several hundred years ago. Yeah, it's always fun looking back at tomorrow. Come on, I'll show you what I mean. There's the grand old man himself, Jules Verne. This is the way a moonshot looked to him back in the late 1800s. Old Uncle Jules may not have had all the answers, but he had the right idea. He was just a little ahead of his time. Painted some pretty fantastic views of the future.
And some pretty mixed up ones, too.
Easy living. It's always been just around the corner. a bit far out, don't you think? I guess so. But we always thought the future would be kind of fun. And what we're learning to do, we really can bring our dreams to life. It takes a lot of work, but the truth is, if we can dream, we can do it.
Tomorrow's horizons are here, today.
The world of liquid space, oceans of minerals and food ready to fuel tomorrow's needs.
Agricultural engineer is a little more like it.
Okay, but me, I'll take the city.
Yes, it's always exciting.
But hey, with today's transportation, we're just minutes away from our kids. Look at that, will you? A few years ago, this was all barren desert. No crops, no irrigation. Quite a transformation.
Stand by number 4, crop transport. Harvest due half. Finish fixing the north quadrant and recycle cultivation. Millie?
I just wanted to let you know the weather guys are calling for showers out of the north.
You know, this really makes me proud.
And you wanted her to go to law school.
Well, do you suppose they ever miss the fun of the city?
Oh, I think they get their share right here.
Just think. Very good. Very lucky.